Today's horoscope from Astro Academy, Cancer, February 2, 2023. The moon spends today in your solar house, stirring your interest in socializing. There can be times today when you take things, people, and perhaps even yourself a little too seriously. Otherwise, exploring new personal interests can be engaging. There is the tendency to feel divided in spots, unsure if you wish to wait for someone to intuit your needs or assert yourself. Fortunately, there can be some inspiration or good news with friends, and you can find it satisfying to reach out or latch onto a special heartfelt pursuit. Give yourself a nice long stretch, crack your knuckles, and let out a loud yawn. Finally, after weeks of a sluggish pace, our cosmic messenger planet will soon be back to full speed. With mental Mercury soon to be crossing the threshold of his post-shadow phase, the past is in the past exactly where it should be. New territory lies ahead in your personal and romantic life, so don't dwell on what came before. If you recently reconnected with an ex or old flame, you'll have a better perspective if it's an authentic reunion or if you both were just imagining things that were too good to be true. Get connected. As a vivacious sign, you tend to be incredibly popular in your greater professional community. Now is the time to catch up with your colleagues and work friends as the Sun in Aquarius trines the Moon in Gemini. The social air trine is just what you need to put yourself out there. You may find yourself chatting it up with someone new on or offline. It might be a great time to say yes to plans. You could even bring up any aspirations or goals that could be prioritized in your established commitments. When the Sun returns to your financial sector in 18 days, he will put the solar spotlight on your financial situation and money matters, but in a way that is all about having your eyes open and head out of the sand. With Saturn just 5 weeks away from his first visit in 3 decades, something that will call for more personal responsibility, Venus and Neptune are making the most of a chance to first create the financial desires and dreams that will give you a starting point. It's a good day to heal old wounds. Maybe someone said something that hurt your feelings. Maybe you know there is something out there between you and a friend that still needs clearing up. The energy of the day gives wonderful support to healing communication and relationships. You will enjoy this transit even more if you take the time to exercise your body. The increase of oxygen to the blood makes communication even purer. No time for goofing around on this day. When the energy of this day hits you, work is what feels best. This is the perfect time to get caught up on all of the things that you have procrastinated on. Don't waste any time today. Get out that pen and paper and make a to-do list. Then start at the top and keep going until you're either hit the bottom or fall asleep. You'll be so gratified by the efforts of this day come tomorrow. Until he leaves your work sector later next week, Mercury might be tying up loose ends but not as tightly as he normally would. With the Sun and Venus already been and gone, Mercury is the last of the faster planets to move through, and with Pluto staying on, his job is to leave the planet that has been here since 2008 with a game plan or roadmap to follow. Except with Pluto leaving in March, he is looking at a much shorter time frame, and even after Mercury leaves we'll be looking at ways to change things up. After nearly 3 years, Saturn moves into his final 5 weeks in your relationship sector today, but with a lot of water still to pass under the bridge. While Venus, the planet of love, left last week, the Sun is still here, and Mercury, the planet of communication, will finally return later next week to start getting the communication lines open. What you can invest in your relationships will determine what you get back. Our eyes in the sky. The Moon is in Gemini today, which means that it's asking us to use our brains to make intellectual decisions instead of emotional ones. The Gemini Moon likes to solve problems, even providing 2 solutions to every issue at hand. We could be extremely curious and want to understand things on a deep level, but we might have to turn over many rocks and investigate many situations before we find the clarity we need. You feel impatient, on edge, unable to relax. It's particularly difficult to find any peace. If you're normally calm and well-balanced, this is the stimulation you need to put plans you have been thinking about for a long time into action. With such an enterprising attitude, you may be overstretched. If you feel on edge, allow yourself the peace you need. Take a relaxed view of life and let grass grow over old feuds. Enjoy reviving old contacts and wallowing in nostalgia. The conditions are ideal, as you will be receiving a lot of trust and affection. Let your family know how important they are to you and spend more time with them. In the pre-dawn hours, the Gemini moon sextiles Chiron in Aries, helping us inspire others to find their healing path. We may have devoted a great deal of time and energy to addressing our wounds, past pain, or traumas from childhood that we've never fully resolved. Indeed, we may not recognize the progress we've made until we are sitting with another, offering offhand advice. People now look to us for guidance because they know we have faced a personal trial. We may feel ill-equipped to share our experiences because we still feel as though the pain is raw. Yet we should give ourselves credit now. We have learned a lot and we have come a long way. And we have lots of knowledge which others can benefit from. Be an inspiration for someone today. You never know the impact you can have on another's healing journey through a kind word or by holding space. You expect too much and as a result become rather impatient. You need to take a step back in order to avoid unnecessary mistakes. Practicing restraint is of paramount importance, otherwise you are easily misunderstood. Be ready to accept suggestions from others. The stress you feel adversely affects your confidence. Get some exercise. Take enough time out for yourself. There is no reason for you to relax. Give your body the workout it deserves. You notice how your vitality has a positive effect on the people around you. Build on your strength and energy. If you encounter a period of stress in the future that requires you to be as fit as possible, you're prepared for all eventualities. The cosmic weather is then exceedingly quiet until just before midnight, when the Gemini moon squares off with Neptune in Pisces, stimulating confusion. We misinterpret something we hear or read, and are quick to jump to a conclusion. Something in the media or news may hijack our better judgment, causing us to react impulsively. We are actually missing an important piece of the story. Bad actors might see us in our vulnerable state and know that we are susceptible to manipulation tactics and deceptions. Don't make any important decisions based on the facts that you have now. In the light of day, they will reveal themselves to be clever fiction.